Okay, I'm running a little bit late, but we'll go ahead and call to order the meeting of the July 7th Auburn Redevelopment Commission. We'll start with a roll call, please.
Danny Kessler.
Here.
Shelley Smalls.
Here.
Keith Kemp.
Here.
Dan Ron.
Here.
Mallory Armstrong.
Here.
Eric Hauser.
And Eric did notify me he was going to be absent. So, as far as visitors, we do have our expected clerk treasurer Lori Pontius, Brandy Coburn from the mayor's office, Andy Baran. I believe the city attorney will be here, Daryl McConnell, and Chief Doug Cox. Also, we have Ryan Shambaugh, Ann Fincham, and Matt Faber. So, welcome everyone. Appreciate your being here. Commission members, you should have received the June 2nd regular meeting minutes. Any questions or concerns?
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any final questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, they are approved. Let's see. Some people would like us to pay our bills. So examination of claims. We have Baker Tilly invoice number BT 3615217 in the amount of $6,095.85. And that is for the presentation they provided to City Council in April. Any questions, concerns, or comments?
I'll move to approve invoice number BT 3615217 in the amount of $6,095.85 to Baker Tilly.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve this invoice. Any other concerns? Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Second is a Baker Tilly group invoice for number BT 3678102 in the amount of $9,455.34. This invoice would be for work related to and the presentation to the underlying taxing units that was done at our May meeting.
Move to approve BT 3678102 on the amount of $9,453.34. $55.34.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any questions, concerns, or comments? Okay. Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next invoice is for Stress Creek Group. It's invoice number ISC3 2602152 for $226,129. This is for the decorative light poles that will be installed on the State Road 8 beautification as they get through that process. You have anything that you want to add to that, Daryl? Or
I spoke to Justin Fry this morning about this particular invoice. He said that they had ordered that back in November, December. I think that was money's appropriated for redevelopment, or you might be able to confirm that.
yeah, we approved that purchase last fall, and they wanted to get ahead of it and get it ordered because they were concerned about the delay in receiving the materials. So.
For our budgeting purposes, does this come out of the 1.5 million that we budgeted for State Road 8
I
development?
believe when we approved that, we approved it as an additional expense.
Okay. Thank you.
And I think, Lori, we've already paid the state, correct? Our 1.5? Did we do that a month and a half or so ago?
Along with some additional funding from the water department.
Correct.
Right.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
I'll make a motion to approve payment of $226,129 to Stress Creek Group for invoice number I-SC3-2602152.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next invoice, Pulver Asphalt Paving. This is invoice number 10009. This is the reconstruction of the 8th Street parking lot for $118,237.65. Any questions, concerns? Daryl, you have any comment?
Happy to report the project was completed mid last month. We did a final change order this morning for Pulver Asphalt Paving at Fort Works. The original contract cost was $128,407.50. It came in $10,169.85 under. The final contract cost is this for this invoice of $118,237.65. It's a good project. Parking lot is now a public parking lot instead of private.
I did go back and do a little digging. We had originally approved $160,000 for this project, so we're well under what we budgeted and approved originally. But the next invoice, the 6460, we'll talk about in a second, I feel like comes in that same category, in that same budget item. So we're still well below what we had planned.
Move to approve Pulver Asphalt Paving and the invoice number 10009 dash, it's at the 8th Street parking lot for $118,237.65.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next claim is from Auburn Main Street. This is for the sidewalk for that Veterans Memorial Project for $6,460. Again, I did go back, look through. It was late last year that we had this conversation, and we approved that as part of the parking lot / Veterans Memorial Project. This is a sidewalk that connects that new parking lot to the Veterans Memorial. I think you'll see on that invoice there was a fairly substantial donation in terms of, I don't know if you want how you want to word it, but there was part of this was a pretty substantial donation.
All right, I'll move to approve the Auburn Main Street invoice for the Veterans Memorial for $6,460.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further conversation? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next one is Leitner Law Firm, invoice number 2063. It's $150 for services provided earlier this month. Any questions, concerns, or comments?
I'll make a motion to approve Leitner Law Firm invoice 2063 for $150.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then final, we have Auburn Development Group, statement number 2-2026 in the amount of $500,000. This would be the second payment in our $2 million pledge for that project. Do you have any questions, concerns, or comments?
I have a couple of questions on this request. Zach, this question's for you, I think. That I believe that the MOU identifies what is available for payment. And I don't remember seeing acquisition of real estate as part of the allowed uses for the Redevelopment Commission funding. Was the 308 South Jackson Street property part of the original scope of work that we approved?
I believe it was. Check.
While you're looking for that, are you okay if we let Nick address that a little bit too?
Absolutely.
I didn't want to disturb your thought process. Go ahead, Nick. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for letting us be here today. And as you can see, the development's coming along nicely, and we're really proud of it, and we hope you are too. Yes, so the acquisition actually is not part of the MOU. That was an error on my part. Actually, the state allows for the acquisition. I have a grid that I follow for the ready reimbursement, and so just misplaced that. So from my dealings with Mr. Leitner is that 308 South Jackson was always meant to be contiguous with the development. So when we created the agreement beyond the MOU, the actual agreement for the series note, we included the legal parcel information for 301 Main Street to include the initial along from Main to Jackson on the north side of 9th there, and then including 308 South Jackson, because we wanted to make sure that all of that was in there for the parking that we were doing and all of the environmental remediation that we had to do as well. So yeah, we are, if amenable, we would appreciate an amendment to this invoice to where the 82,000 is removed from the overall, and we would just approve, I believe it's 434 what is left, and then we come back next month for the remainder, because we just got ourselves a big nice invoice that with the limestone material and the facade material coming in now, that we can just kind of button this up for the 500 for this year. Any questions?
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. Oh,
And
thank you.
thank you for the tour. Also, thank you for the detailed request with the proof of payment. It was pretty well done. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So just a quick follow-up for you before you do sit. When you saw that we see the invoices, and assuming you've paid those, I don't think that's really necessarily a question at this point, but for future reference, maybe show that, yes, you did in fact pay those invoices. Does that make sense? Some kind of a receipt or something that says paid?
So we do have invoices within there, and I understand what you're saying in relation to the lien waivers that you're receiving. So all of that, we put lien waivers in there because we don't get those unless we've paid.
Gotcha.
And that's what the bank relies on us before they even do a withdrawal. Let us do a withdrawal back. So I think that's where we're looking at it from that perspective. We did ask, is this acceptable? Because we don't want to cause any
Right.
kerfuffle, if you
Right.
will, for the technical term, of course. And so, but from our perspective, yes, we want to show paid. And so there are examples of that throughout the document. I think it was like a 75-page document.
Yeah, it was a
so
long
I do
document. That's why.
apologize for the length, but we do want to be thorough in showing that we do actually pay for these things before we come to you.
I appreciate that, and I think that answers that question, at least in my mind.
Yeah. Thanks.
So am I correct in the calculation of $434,393.07?
That's
Yes.
what I have.
Yes.
Now, this is another question for Zach. Would this allow us, are we allowed, based on our documentation, to pay part of it next month if requested separately?
Yeah, we're just
Okay.
limited to the
500 per year.
Per year, so if it comes in multiple requests, there's no prohibition on that.
Okay, thank you.
Now, my question is, obviously, those payments usually hit in August anyway. We just came early this time because of the way that the cycle is. So generally speaking, we come back next month, it would still be next month for that second bit, or would it be like the following month after that?
Oh, I think next month is fine.
Yeah, great. Perfect. Just making sure there's next month
Yeah.
is okay.
No, yeah, I think that, I don't see any issue with that unless somebody sees something that I
As you
don't,
see,
but-
we're moving quickly. So, all right, thank you.
So we were for, what was the number we
Uh,
talked?
434
434?
393 7 cents.
434, 393
7 cents.
and 7 cents.
And then we have to, I assume we need a motion to adjust the total for an amendment, or do we just move to approve that number? Zach, do we need to amend this or just move to approve that
You
total?
can just move to approve the amount.
That amount.
You're going to approve. And to get back to your question, Michelle, I'd have to dig a little deeper in reading the exact legal description from the MOU, but from the loan agreement itself, we talk more about the project as opposed to the specific footprint, and that is going to, I guess, carry the weight on this. So long as it ties to the project itself, we can include it in what is not, again, still not acquisition, but because we're generally not allowed to do that by the state rules. But as far as that 308 South Jackson being part of the project itself, we can include the allowable expenses that are tied to that.
Okay. As
And
long
not
as
to
it's
say that it's,
included.
we can't include the acquisition itself, but the closing and the purchase and sale agreement all were executed prior to executing MOU. So it was part of the definition of project when we started the discussion.
Thank you,
But so for today, if we exclude the purchase, next month, they're going to bring back something that's not going to be over and above the purchase. So that's null and void then at that point. We're not talking about purchasing at all, correct? Anybody have anything else?
I'll move to approve the amended reimbursement total for Auburn Development Group to $434,393.07.
I'll second.
Okay, motion and a second. One last chance for any comments, concerns, questions. Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, gentlemen, for being cooperative. Does anybody have anything under unfinished business? Nope. So we'll move on to new business. We do have a request for a facade grant extension for Classic City Creamery. Ann, would you like to address that?
Hi, yes. I'm Ann Fincham, Auburn Main Street. On that request for the Classic City Creamery, they had been approved back in 2025 for their second, I guess was their second job that they were going to have done. They ran into some financial difficulties with some of their freezers and stuff like that. So it extended, we extended them once. They've gone beyond a year. So we did want to, they did come back to us. They won a grant award through American Express, and it's allowing them to make many of those changes and improvements to the interior of their building, which is helping them with their cost expenditures that they were experiencing with their freezers and getting everything up to speed. So with that, so they did reach out and ask if they could continue with that process. It is beyond a year, so it's kind of asking for an exemption to that, to keep that on that same calendar date versus having him completely reapply. So that is the request on this. We felt that he did have a plausible explanation as to why he couldn't complete the initial facade improvements at the time that he was requesting it. But so that's what the request is for, is to give him an additional 6 months to complete his project.
So they're working towards completing, they're making some progress, correct? Have they not started any
he-
kind of,
He hasn't started.
Okay.
I guess in a sense they had. They did do one repair to what was sitting on the outside of the building was an air conditioner that was leaking onto the sidewalk. They replaced the HVAC. That did change that with the new grant funding that they've got. So that was the only air they had, which was causing stress on their equipment because they need that during the summer. So when that broke down last year in the fall, they had pretty much stalled what they could do. So financially, they've been given the reprieve by being able to work on the other stuff, but it gives them now the wherewithal to complete the project. But they wanted to make sure that they were, since they had expired, that this would be allowed.
and did you have a rough timeline? Are we 6 months?
Just 6 months. So that would be all we're going to give them at this point, other than having to reapply. So they would have to prove that they're ready to move forward in it, I guess, again. But we feel that he gave us a sufficient explanation as to what was the holdup for him.
Anybody else have any questions or concerns?
Move to approve the facade grant request to extend for Classic City Creamery until September. Well, 6 months, for 6 months.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Did you have a question about?
6 months is into the next year.
It does. It'll take us into 2027, just over.
How does that?
Because this PO won't be valid. The POs are only, we PO'd in 2025.
Can I amend my motion?
Can,
Wait.
I think so, yeah. I think the concern is that, so the money was allotted, it was slotted for expense and in 2025. So I'm assuming by state rule, we have to finish that up in 2026. So if we don't make that till 2027, then that creates another set of questions and accounting things.
So I guess we could maybe list it as a condition that he does complete it within the calendar year, then would be a better option.
Set a deadline for December 31st. Is that amenable to what you wanted?
Well, it'd have to be presented in by December's meeting.
So it
So
would have to come to the.
it really have to be
December
done
meeting.
by November. The work would have to be completed by November. Is that correct?
So it could be paid out in December, yes.
And then I guess, yes, at that point, Shelley can withdraw her motion or amend it with a new date.
So you're saying that it would have to be presented at the November 3rd meeting,
This December meeting, correct?
the December
Presented to us and approved in December.
1st?
So if we did like November, was it November 30th?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'd like to amend my motion, and I move to approve the facade grant request to extend to Classic City Creamery until November 30th, 2026.
And Danny, did you second that original motion?
Second.
Are you willing to second the amended motion?
Second.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second to extend the deadline to November 30th. Any other comments, concerns, or questions? Seeing and hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion carries. And then while we got Ian in the spotlight, Saving Grace has come now with their request for payment for a total of $13,422.56. And I will let you elaborate on that one.
Sure. Their project did come in under cost because they had given some round estimates because they really weren't sure what they were going to face once they tore off the board and bat off the brick. And luckily it was in fairly decent condition. So hopefully you followed the progress with that one. It looks really nice, looks more authentically historic at this point. They did a really nice job utilizing the facade renderings that were done by Ball State University. And he's done a significant amount of change to the inside of that as well. But that, of course, hopefully you've had a chance to just go take a look at the space. we're pretty excited. But the total cost, instead of being around that 30,000, what we were estimating came in at 26,845. So the total grant request was less. It was came in at 13,422.56. So pretty thrilled that that was all completed in that time.
Anybody have any questions or concerns?
I make a motion to approve
Oh,
saving.
hang on just one second. I guess the mayor wants to.
Yes, Mayor.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm reading this right, Dan. So when I look through the packet, and I do it a couple times, a lot of the payments only show for 50% of the cost. Am I looking at that correct? It looks like the other 50% of the costs have not been paid, which is not a requirement, right? It's a reimbursement.
So I guess I assume at this point, and maybe Ann can clarify a little bit.
Unless I'm missing something.
I
apologize if I am.
When I look at the very first one, the graph that says grant request, he does have the total, and then 50% is what he's asking for reimbursement for. I'm just kind of skimming down through here. If you go to the next page for Warschler's, he does have the full amount that showed paid on his charge card. Skim back up here. What's the next one show? So I just an example, like I said, because it's the first one that I'm looking at, the Warslers, on his graph that he has, he's got 610 was what was invoiced.
He was
And the actual was 520. And then if you scroll down through his credit card statement, it does show that $610 was charged to his account. That this particular statement doesn't show the refund at that point, but
it shows it on the refund of $90 is shown on his Chase bill.
okay.
Of $90.
So I guess I do kind of feel like that's showing that he's paid his, there's the credit. I believe the card statements are showing he paid the full amount. But I see where you're looking at, though. If we go down to the Fix It by Luke invoice,
And so when you get into the actual invoice,
Yeah.
instead of credit card receipts, it's only showing half the payment on the remaining.
so my assumption, I guess, at that point would have to be that he's worked it out with the contractor to make a 50% payment, and is then going to have to make the other 50% payment. Did he comment to that at all, Ann?
No.
So for Wayne Awning, he's paid 50%.
3147.
Okay.
Well,
Here's what may be missing, a document or two of this packet.
this does show, so like the awning I don't know about the Fix It by Luke, but on the awning one, it shows that he paid $56.15 October 7th of 25, and then he paid another $56.15 by QuickBooks on May 28th of 2026,
So he's there at 11.
showing that that one's paid in full.
So he's at,
Okay.
so he's at
Yeah,
11,000.
it was a lot of, he had to pay a lot of up front, and then by the time he was able to complete, a lot of it was much later.
So masonry, he paid both. 8,400. Oh, that's the same check, isn't it? Oh, then a debit. November 25th, yeah, so there's a debit and a check. So 8,400 there. Well, one is, I guess the posting date is, oh, it is the same check. You can make this any easier.
That's pretty complicated.
Looks like the masonry work was paid in full.
Yeah, which was 4,200. Yeah.
But it looks like even with, if it's hard to tell, but it
Two
looks like he
checks.
paid
No,
$26.50
But
to
it's-
Fix It by
It's the
Luke
same check twice, but it's for the full amount
on October 16th.
because the invoice.
And then there's
invoice is
another
42.10. He's
$31.47.
$10 short, but
It just,
Hadaway painting.
So I was missing a document one to the Fort Wayne awning invoice.
Okay.
I did not have that, and with that, then that would bring that up over that,
3,545.
yeah.
26.
50% of that would be that 13, roughly that 13,422. But I did not have that invoice.
So with painting, awning, and masonry, he's at over 22,000 there. Plus, then we have the Fix It by, that doesn't include the Fix It by Luke. 12,400, 10,600, 2,650.
I retract that concern based on the missing document, so.
3,145, 3,147. And then 2,650, 7,475. So this is the Luke. So 1123, 18, 320, 420. And how much is he asking for? Again,
13,422.
he's well north of that with what they provided. So 2, 6, 12, 2 carry the 1, 9, 18. I have 28,262 and not going through all.
Okay.
And that's just, yeah, so there's enough there to reimburse.
Yeah, some of the
This-
items weren't reimbursable, so that's where that item kind of changed from even what was written. So it
Yeah,
is,
He's paid enough for that half.
yeah. We've gone through it a couple times. Probably should have written it out some other way because what he provided was a lot of going back and forth to double check it. So
So
maybe we can.
future receipts.
Yeah, especially if they're like this, when they're paid on a credit card like that, it's so much harder to prove everything how it was spent. But yeah, hopefully that gives you some peace of mind in that regard. That was all that he did pay for it.
Yeah, there's enough there for in receipts for where'd it go? 13,422. It's above and beyond that. So
so I believe there is a motion on the floor to approve and has been seconded, correct? No, okay, that question came in before then. All right.
I'll second to approve the amount.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You'll make the motion then?
I'll make the motion then.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to reimburse Saving Grace for the facade grant payment request of $13,000 or $13,422.56.
I'll second.
Okay, so a motion and a second. Any further discussion? We'll thank the mayor later for sending us down that rabbit hole.
Thank you. It's okay. I appreciate it.
I was missing the other receipt, which I don't have it, so put it all in perspective.
It's all right. Thank you.
I want to make a quick comment.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody has been to Saving Grace yet, but this is a win-win for the community. It's a for-profit organization. However, they donate their proceeds to the Heart and House Rescue Mission. So it's a great place to go and get some really nice thrift items.
And I did stop by there, and what he's done with the inside, aside from the facade grant, what he's done on the inside of the building, it really does look amazing. The kind of improvement we really want to see in the community. So I'm glad this program was available for him. So, okay, a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anybody else have anything that needs to fall under new business? I will just very quickly, there is a Redevelopment Association of Indiana Lunch and Learn next week. When I get more details, I will forward that on to you. Also a reminder that they are doing that site tour in Fort Wayne, August 13th and 14th. I will forward that information as well. I do have, I don't know where I put it right this minute, but I do have a letter from them that talks a little bit about that if anybody wants to see that afterwards. And then we will, at our next meeting, vote on whether we're going to re-up that membership for another year. So, anybody have anything else? Our next meeting is August 4th, 12 o'clock, right here in this wonderful room. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.